Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you have been here before, you already know what to expect. And if you've never been here before, my name is Dr. Frazier. I'm a Christian counselor. Man, I do a couple things. I've written some books, I produce some films, and my thing is health. My thing is purpose. And I knew that I wanted to help people in the healthiest way possible. But how would I do that without excluding my faith? Or if I include my faith, will people think differently about me, or will they not pay attention? And forget all that. We here, full Christian counselor. And come and to my surprise, people are like, yo, I've been looking for this. So if you haven't heard the podcast, What's Healthiest for You, my podcast that you can listen to everywhere, wherever you listen to music, wherever you listen to podcasts, Healthy Living with Dr. Frazier. We dropped the first episode the other day, and we were talking about what's healthiest for you. And the bottom line is this: many people desire what they desire over what is healthiest for them. And in this video, we're going to jump into why. Been in Orlando, Florida, Central Florida, for going on 3 years. I am from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised in the Midwest for 36 years, 35 years. We moved here March 2023. Yeah, March 2023. But while I was there, before you kind of get to that age of like knowledge and accountability to where what you're alive, what health is, what good relationships are, like kind of what's good for you, what's not. Before that, I mean, life was whatever it was. Like, I saw some pictures and stuff, I guess. But then you get into that age and that area of life to where what's what. And when I got to that age and area of life and I knew what was what, I didn't like what was what. And it was a mission to get out of Cleveland, Ohio. Like, it was a mission to get out of Ohio, the Midwest, the cold, the gray, the whatever. And this disdain that I had, this anger, this what's the word? This anxiety, the depression, just this no, like, I don't want to be here. This is not for me. It was my mission to get out of that place for 1,000,001 reasons. And from the things that happened, from the things that didn't happen, from the relationships, from the non-relationships, to friends and family members, to not friends and family members, and just all of these experiences just kind of rolled up into one. My end all, like my knowing where I want to be and where I don't want to be, like my decision, my judgment, my conclusion was like, this is not the place for me. This is not the place for me. And that was my mission, was to get the heck out of Cleveland, Ohio. And as I grew, before I grew, all I had on my mind and all that you would hear me talk about was, I want better. I want more. I hate this place. I don't want to be here. This isn't the place for me. And just me just living in my truth. So I thought. And come to find out, I wasn't living in my truth. I was living in the truth of a trauma. Now, there's nothing wrong with desiring what it is you desire for whatever reason you desire it. There's nothing wrong with that. You are allowed to want what you want and do what you want to do, as long as it's coming from a healthy place. And many times we do not take the time to sit back or slow down and think about the two parts of us. There are two parts to us. There's the healthy version of us, and there's the unhealthy, the traumatized version of us. And both parts of us want what they want for the reasons they want it. The healthy part of you wants what it wants for healthy reasons. The traumatized part of you wants what it wants for trauma-based reasons, for traumatized reasons. And if we do not slow down and ask ourselves, what do I want? And why do I want it? And which part of me is this coming from? Am I wanting this for a healthy reason? Am I wanting this for that reason? And many times the answer is no. Now, Elijah can grow up wherever he grows up and experience whatever he experiences, and he's allowed to make decisions on his life for whatever reason. But what wasn't healthy for me was being hurt and not healing, being hurt and not growing, being hurt and not understanding. And the reason why it wasn't healthy for me to leave in that mental and emotional and spiritual state is because I would have successfully gotten away, but I wouldn't have successfully healed away. And many of us have gotten away from traumatizing things or from unhealthy things, and we successfully got away, but we still haven't healed yet. Now, I have a faith. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. We rock like that. Imagine me not healing and then going somewhere and taking the unhealed version of me, the unhealthy version of me, into a new healthy place. Now I know we can split some hairs here. Well, sometimes you have to leave a place to heal and things like that. Yeah, I get it. But many times we can go into a new place the same way we left an old place. And relocation doesn't change the situation when the situation is mental and emotional. If you need to heal, the healing starts internally because you can heal. Hear me when I say this. I'm not saying you got to stay where you are to do all the things, or before you leave, you got to do. Sometimes God has to bless you in a place before you leave a place. Like that scripture that talks about, I will bless you in the midst of your enemies. If you're not in the midst of them, I will make your enemies your footstool. If your enemies aren't around, how can they be your footstool? Now, many of us, just hold on. Many of us look at enemies as people. The video's over. The video's over. Many of us look at enemies as people. And sometimes God likes to, and sometimes God will allow you to be healed in the same place you were broken. He will allow you to smile in the same place that you cried. We not even collecting offering. I don't want no money from you. Like, chill out. Because sometimes you may do a thing and you think it was because of you that you healed and that you grew. You may think it was because of you that you healed and you grew. And sometimes God has to show us, no, that was me. And those people who broke you, those people who lied to you, I want them to see me lift you. Those people who stabbed you in the back, those people who took advantage of you, I want them to see me bless you. And I want you to heal here so we can walk into this next season healed. You don't have to stay in bad situations to heal. You don't have to stay in bad situations for things to change. Hear me. I believe you understand what I'm saying. But God didn't want me running away from yet another thing. What if we're not going into the next season because we broke free and we ran away from this and we got away from that person and we did that thing? What if we're going into the next season because we're doing it in a healthy way? This is my next level. I don't have to break the door down. I have the key. We're so used to hustling and grinding and pushing and forcing and working and let me meet the right person, this and that. Sometimes God just wants you to have the key to the next level. Yeah, just getting it how I live, grinding another day, this and that. Everything shouldn't be a grind. Because you grind for a reason. You grind to make a tool sharp, or you grind to make a tool complete, to use the tool to get what you desire. But if you grind everything away, you're not going to have anything left. What's healthiest for you? Ask yourself these questions. Do I want what I want more than what I'm supposed to have? Do I want what I want more than what's healthiest for me? Do I want what I want more than what comes easiest? Now here's the kicker. In the event you have a faith, do you want what you want more than what God has for you? These are questions only you can answer. Really quick story. The original Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi saves Daniel's son. Daniel's son finally convinces him how to teach him how to fight. But Mr. Miyagi doesn't teach Daniel's son how to fight the way Daniel's son thought he would teach him. He's like, I'm the one that knows how to fight. You the one out here getting beat up. Let me teach you. He thought he was going to be kicking and punching, but he was out there waxing on, waxing off, sitting in fields, painting fences and all of that. Because he knew the way. And at the end, what happens? Daniel wins it all in the way he didn't even expect to win. And you seeing your enemies as people instead of old mindsets, instead of old triggers, instead of unhealed areas, blessing you in the midst of your enemies is not always a person. Blessing you in the midst of your enemies can be old habits, old mindsets, old thought processes, old things we used to do. And when that energy, those spirits, what all those things, they know how you operate. They know what triggers you. They know what friend to use, what boss to say, what spouse to do this, and that. And God's like, no, those are enemies too. And I'm going to make those old thoughts your new footstools. Share the video. I'm going to make those old thoughts your new footstools. I'm going to make those old habits your new footstools. All the enemies aren't people. All the enemies aren't people. So I had to learn to heal because my way of doing things was just run away, just start over fresh. You don't like this job? Quit it. Find another one. Work your way up the ladder all over again. This friendship isn't working out for you? Cut that friendship. Start over, make new friends. And it's just this thing, just running. Start over fresh, start over fresh, start over fresh. And God is like, not this time. God is like, we're not going to start over fresh. We're going to enter into a new fresh. You're not starting anything over. We're going to close this chapter, but we're staying in this book. We're going to close this chapter, but we're staying in this book. You're not about to start a whole nother book, bro. I'm going to show you how to close a chapter healthy so that when you turn the page, you can go into this new chapter healthy. And my question to you is this. Do you want what you want more than what's healthiest for you? And in the event that it comes, does it have to come in the way that you expect it to? Does it have to come in the way that you want it to? Because things are not supposed to happen the way you want them to. Things are supposed to happen the way they're supposed to happen. If you got a favorite dessert, a favorite cake, you better follow those instructions on the back of that box to a T. And if it says leave that cake in the oven for 45 minutes, you bet not take it out at 25 just because you want the cake that bad. It has instructions for a reason. Your calling has instructions. Your blessing, your purpose, your breakthrough, that spouse, that mental healing, that new financial status. It has instructions. And it can't go outside of those instructions. And the truth of the matter is, you don't want to go outside of those instructions. Your trauma does. Your trauma doesn't want what's healthiest for you. Your trauma wants what it knows best. The mind is blind. It doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. The mind is blind. It doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. The mind knows what it is you have taught it. And this is why it's difficult for many of us to heal or desire the healthiest thing or the healthiest way. You can watch a motivational and inspirational YouTube video and your mind will get excited as if something is actually going on. You just watching something. And you could be watching something completely different on the internet that you ain't supposed to be watching. And your mind will think you're actually there. It's getting all excited. because the mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So it's building blocks off of what you teach it. So if you teach it trauma, not setting healthy boundaries, not doing what you need to do, since it's programmed to place these things somewhere and you don't allow them to be placed in a healthy way, it's going to automatically follow its programming and follow them internally. So now you're sitting here wondering why you have imposter syndrome, can't make decisions because your brain doesn't trust you anymore. You didn't take care of it. So it has a program and a design to forget things and shut things down until it can trust you again. That fuse box in your house, when it flips because you put too much power on it, it doesn't have the intelligence you do. It didn't know that you had the coffee maker going and the microwave and the air fryer and the stove and all of it. It didn't know you had all of that going and you were just making food. All it knows is there's too much power coming in or being required of me. And before I just blow up and burn up, I'm shutting this down. That's what your mind has done. Because you want what you want more than you want what's healthiest. You want all of this stuff to be done now instead of, hey, let's make that toast first. Boom, we got that. Now we're going to make our coffee. Now we're going to do, those two can run at the same time. These can't. And you're requiring so much of yourself. And your brain is like, nah, peace. We cool on that. Do you want what's healthiest for you? Or do you want what you want your way? Because anything worth having is worth having healthy. This is what I help people with all day, every day. Yeah, it can get inspirational and motivational, but where the real work comes in are tangible tools that you can apply to your life and see tangible, measurable change. Anybody can motivate and inspire you. Can you give me something in my life for me to see the needle move? The answer is yes. What do you want and why do you want it? Do you want what you want from a healthy place? Or are we still trying to heal the smaller, the little, the younger version of us? Are we trying to give away something somebody we wish someone would have gave to us? Are we trying to do things so that people will finally like us or see our value? Why do you want what you want? And if you know the answer, a problem with a solution is a choice. And many of us don't have the problem that we say we have. Many of us, the actual problem is that we're not making the decisions we have the ability to make. If you do not know the solution, you have an actual problem. Good. We have somewhere to start. But if there's a solution in the room, now we're making a choice. The elephant in the room has never been the problem. The elephant in the room has always been the solution we're ignoring. So the next time that conversation comes up, the next time that desire, that unction, that thing that you have the opportunity to engage in, the next time that thought or that feeling comes around, ask yourself this: which part of me wants this and why? I hope that something in this video resonated with you. If you would like to know more about me or even work together, we got two different websites, ElijahFrazier.com, and my brand, my practice, my ministry is RoyalLamb.com. Join the community, pick up some merch, work with me, whatever your goal is. I'm confident that we can find a healthy way to get you to not where you desire to be and not keep you away from where you don't want to be, but to get you to the healthiest place for you. Peace.